Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and I'm really excited today as we are looking at Little Hamlet Hallow, which is arguably one of the best, if not the best, park created on the Planet Coaster console. And I'm joined today by Flooded Tombs, who is one of the creators of the park. So, Flooded Tombs, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
I'm doing good. And now this is an Xbox park. So as we're just seeing some cinematics here, if you would just kind of give me a little bit of an overview of what Little Hamlet Hollows is.
So it's basically an English family small theme park that's expanded over the years, and obviously this is what it's got to. So with big roller coaster and that. So yeah, apart from being a community park, there's not a lot else to say really.
Yeah, well, it looks spectacular, and we'll talk more about the different creators that are showcased in this. But first, I want to thank Iron Matty, because since this is an Xbox park, I don't have an Xbox. I wasn't able to edit and record the footage, so Iron Matty let me use his footage from the one that he did with Moomin, which, by the way, the link to that is below, so you should go check it out, as it was a great park tour as always. And so I thank Iron Matty for that. But now as we get started here at the entrance, I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. So it kind of gives me vibes of when Moomin created his very British park, where you've got kind of this whole surrounding area outside of the theme park.
Yeah, I did take a lot from Moomin's Little Rock series and decided that I needed the outside to be done properly, just as a barrier. But yeah, I made sure everything was to how our English roads look, etc.
Yeah, well, it looks spectacular. So as we're kind of looking at some of this, so you got coach parking there, because there is a good amount of footage, just kind of an overview of the outside. If you would, could you kind of tell us how this park came together? Because I believe there are 9 Xbox creators featured here, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it's 9 including myself. So basically everyone on Discord always saying we need to do something like Little Hampton, like Little Rock Ridge, and no one's done it, so I just thought I'm just going to try it. Contacted a few people, they were interested, so I just started it from there, really. I even spoke to Moomin for advice, how he done his, and it just, yeah, completely went like pear-shaped compared to what Moomin wanted me to do it as, but yeah, nothing goes to plan.
Yes, of course, nothing goes to plan in this game. As we see a little bit of backstage, I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Like, I love this view that Matty got, where you wouldn't even know there's a theme park surrounding it, how you did this outside portion. And so did you do it kind of like Moomin did it, where everybody creates stuff as a blueprint and you placed it in the park, or was the park passed around to each creator?
No, it was done by blueprint mainly. Birtie and Iron Matty, I believe, had the park to put theirs in, but the rest was blueprints.
That's just amazing. This is, like I said, I think this is the best park I've seen. You guys all did an amazing job with it, and I just love the realism of different parking areas. And it's kind of interesting seeing, because I'm sure there's some parks in the UK like this, where with the parking area, it's not all like concrete, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even Fort Park, being one of our biggest theme parks, has a gravel car park with a few cones and logs here and there. That's basically it. So I just felt like, as the backstory was meant to be a family-run theme park, that they wouldn't have spent money on a tarmac car park. So,
right. And here we have the entrance to the backstage, which, you know, I love the realism of the backstage. You've got this little kind of security office, and yeah, I mean, so when you first started the overall layout of the park, what was the first thing that you kind of did? Did you kind of plot out where you wanted the theme park to go first, or did you kind of plot out the basic road system?
I started off with the road, and then the path that leads up to the main entrance with the main road next to it. So I wanted basically a walk-up path up the main road as well together. So then you come to the entrance if you're in a car or by foot. And then it just grew from there, really. I've done the road system, and then there is a sign that comes up in a minute that says new road layout, and I just thought, as years have gone by, they've changed the road layout and added the service road, as they wouldn't want deliveries and staff, etc., using the same road as the guests.
Right. Yeah, that looks good. I like the melted. Oh, that's a
I just knew that they would pop in there just to have a look, so I just put one item in each one. I thought, I'm not wasting no percentage on it. It's just, I knew that it'd be empty otherwise.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the clutter back here. So it's all realistic. You've got some of those cargo crates, and then, I mean, this looks like a good office building. It's not anything it's a little bit more modern with the windows, but it's not anything overdone. I love that aspect, and then the views there of that coaster. So, who made that coaster?
That was Fancy Coaster Cow.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the first person I spoke to after seeing what roller coasters he was making. I just thought he needed to be a part of this.
I'm stealing your idea right there for that electrical kind of outlet thing.
I can't take credit for that.
Oh, who did that?
So that he's not actually a part of our Discord. He's on the Xbox workshop. His name's Professor Oaks.
Okay.
So he's made a blueprint package that's just utility pieces. So there's like vents and stuff like that. So I'll give him credit for that.
I need to find that on the online Steam, or not Steam, console part, or wow, I can't speak, online workshop, so I can at least see images of it. And because I love that, all those extra little realism pieces that if you're on PC, you can use TMTK for, but then we got to get creative on how to build it. And I just love the look of those roads. Like I said, all the different areas to park really kind of adds that realism aspect to it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the left-hand car part, if you notice, it's slightly greener. I thought that was an overflow car part, so it wouldn't get used as much. So a bit of extra grass there for realism. So
yeah, that's really good. And I think how you've done the foliage is really good as well. Because I think sometimes, like kind of what I'm working on in my park right now, is when you're trying to add foliage to an area, you don't want to overdo it. But you wanted to make it look realistic, and I think you've done a great job with that.
Well, thank you.
And then right here with the entrance, so this is made by Planet Plipcam, and I love is that a dragon up there on the left, made out of art?
It is, yeah, it's just basic shapes. Yeah, it's really good job.
Yeah, that is really good. And so that's even more impressive, I think, that that everything was done in the blueprint, and then you had to fill in the pathing and everything, because that's got to be tough, especially with the rides.
Oh, it was. I mean, when I first done it, the two main roller coasters, the Dragon one and the Rampage, they were on opposite sides when I originally started. But as the park come together, I moved blueprints about, and it just worked better this way, basically.
Yeah. And that's so cool too, that custom trash can.
That's awesome. So that's another blueprint from one of the creators. That's Grey Mouser.
Okay.
He made these. He's actually got some updated versions, but I actually prefer these ones.
And yeah, and I love how every single light has cables running to it. Like that whole aspect's been thought out. And then the different types of lights you made look really good as well.
Yeah, Blip. I'll give Blip that one. Blip made them lamps.
So I meant to say Blip, but yeah. Probably say that a couple times, forgetting. Maybe there's so many different creators that took part in this, but this is just awesome.
Yeah, so the shop was mine, but the jumpers and the t-shirts were they're Plipcams as well, but everything else is mine in the shop.
Oh my gosh, is that a custom kind of fridge?
Yeah, I made them a long time ago actually.
Oh wow, that looks so good. Or I guess fridge, I should say. Like, I guess it's not vending machine; it is a fridge.
It's like a drinks cooler.
Yeah, and then I know Maddie talked about using whatever you use there for the base and that planter. I mean, that looks really, really good too. I think that's just a temple piece, right?
Yeah, I think it's some sort of water feature or something. I think it's in. Yeah, I don't think it's a part of the temple.
Okay.
I think it's fantasy or.
Yeah, we got restrooms back there. I mean, this entryway is so well done. Then you got the obviously ticket booths over here, which is nice. And one thing I didn't point out on the front gate was I like how you got how Plip put the fencing that looks like you could kind of pull it down at the end of the night to close up the park.
To be honest, I'd done all of that. Blip only done the sign.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Just Iron Matty got it wrong, so naughty Matty.
Iron Matty did it wrong. What's new, right?
Oh no, I know. I even told him before we recorded, and he ignored me. So I'll give credit to Blip.
No, this looks so good, and then using that that sci-fi looking kind of piece to almost represent like a menu or something, or you know how you got the signs that kind of read information. That looks good. Yeah, this is just I mean, so well done. Every bit of the park is just fully detailed, and then we got a staff only area. And I mean, some of it I'm just at a loss for words on just how amazing this is overall and stuff.
Yeah, I was really happy how the staff room turned out. It actually felt like something. You know, they wouldn't have put money into it, but.
Oh, that's cool. You check in and that's awesome. That's like it'd be like old school where you stamp your card.
You clock it in cards, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yep. And you got the break room. So this is like veering on what Nerd Chacho does with his parks of having that extra space.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't see the point in just having in-game staff room. It's like you need a real staff room. If you're going to go all out realism, it needs to be real.
Okay, so are these creators who took part in the park, right? Or that's the actual 9 people who made the rides for the park, right?
Yeah, apart from TJ Puffs, I mean, he phoned in sick that day.
Yeah.
He was involved with it, and he had a ride that he was gonna a flat ride that he was gonna theme, and his Xbox broke, so he couldn't take part. So I thought I'd at least mention him.
Oh, I didn't know TJ had an Xbox too.
Yeah, I think he just has an old one, but
yeah, that's cool. I love the clutter back here. I mean, I feel like this is something you'd realistically see. So.
Yeah, storage. Like I'd put a few Christmas decorations and Halloween because I thought that they'll bring it out at some point in the year, so it's got to be stored somewhere.
Ooh, custom trash bins. So what?
That's another grey mouser.
Okay, it looks like he just used those wooden. I forget the name of them, but it's like one of those not wooden planks, but it's like their decorative pieces. It looks like he just used a lot of those. But that's. I
think that is it. Yeah. It's definitely wood.
So here's the workshop items. So if anybody wants to pause it and kind of see the different ones that are from the workshop, so you can see Angry Emerald, Grey Mouser, Birtie, Professor Oaks, Chapstick 187, and then obviously you. And I think there's one other name I missed. Yeah, so that's a long.
It's always nice to give credit, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's. Oh, I love these lights right here. It almost looks like a Pokeball. I
don't actually remember putting them there.
And then, I like how you've got that gate that opens up at the end of the night where they just flow out through the middle part. And so now we are actually in the theme park. And now, who made this windmill? Was this Gray Mauser?
It was, yeah.
Okay. So when you went about kind of actually placing the park layout, because this looks phenomenal. Like, what did you place first? Did you place the coasters on the outside? Did you kind of try to get the pathing system set up? So what did you do first inside the park?
I think the coaster in front of you, which is Angry Emeralds, I think I placed that first because it was an old style roller coaster. I thought that would be the main attraction, but then Blip just threw a curveball at me and gave me his steeplechase racing ride. I thought, oh my god, that's even older. So I've got to put that close to the front. Yeah. But yeah, this windmill's just amazing. It had to be the weenie, as you would say, as you walk in the park.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And so, as I said, that was made by Gray Mauser, and I love how the path wraps around it, and then you've got a couple stalls inside of it, so it's got multi-use. Like, it's not just there for the visual; it's actually got a use for the guests. Looks really good. And then here we got another what looks like backstage area with the security cam, and then I like Matty didn't really point this out, but that custom air vent on the top looks really cool.
Yeah, so that's a part of that package that I was talking about that someone else done. I can't remember his name though.
Professor Oaks, I think you said.
That's it, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, now I remember when Plip was talking to us a little bit about making this. This is absolutely insane.
Oh, it's madness. Like, where would you even start with this?
I mean, first of all, the station is just unbelievably realistic. And just all the different kind of curve pieces that he had to use, and it looks so perfect. Then you create the steeplechase. I'm trying to see if I can tell which coaster track he used. But it's like he just turned it sideways, and I could just imagine how irritating that must have been. You try to line them all up perfectly, having your coaster turn sideways the whole time like this.
I would have given up. It just looks like an absolute nightmare. No chance.
Yeah, this would be one I would start, and then I'd be like, nope, I'm done. And so now we're just going to take a little bit, kind of get the view of the steeplechase, and like, how does Plip even come up with an idea like this?
Oh no! I think he actually went to Blackpool probably the weekend before I asked him to do something, and he's thought, you know what, I'm making that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's just it's a ride that you will never see on Planet Coaster, even if they bring a second one out. This is they just don't have rides like this anymore.
Yeah, it looks like
this little backstage area is just amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then everything had to be custom. So the custom chains, the custom catwalk, the custom brake run, wherever you had the block sectionette right there. I mean,
it's just thought of everything.
Yeah, this is I know Plip's busy with school and different stuff, but like whenever he builds new stuff, I'm just amazed at the detail that he builds with, and it's absolutely amazing. Wow. As you said, there's not really much to say about that. I mean,
just amazing.
Yeah. And then the space it takes up too, like that takes up a pretty good amount of space, and just wonder if when he made that, was he making it bit by bit, like part of each track? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I did give him a plot size for this one, so he had to build something within that space. So I always had intention that he would have something at the front of the park, but I never knew what he would make.
Yeah.
And this is it's just amazing.
So when you had some people creating stuff, did you ever send them have them download the map and basically like highlight for them where they were you were envisioning them building it, or was it just kind of, hey, make this as a blueprint and I'll kind of fit it into the park?
Yeah, so I did give a bit more freedom than I should have done, but there's a few creators I gave like a plot size, and then others I sort of said make it and I'll make it fit. So I think Mad Catter that made this restaurant and bar, he had freedom.
Okay. Yeah, Mad Catter is he's another creator that just everything he does is incredibly realistic and incredibly detailed, and just the multi-level to the buildings here and how they're facing different directions just looks really, really cool.
Oh, it is so good. I was just really impressed with this. It just fits the whole theme of the park. So,
yep. And then you got the speakers hanging up there, which is nice, and you got a nice little seating area, and it looks like, oh wow, the detail there. So there's like some electrical stuff for the speakers, but also using some of those whatever those wall pieces are to make it look like it's either being chiseled off, or I just think that's a really cool touch that he did.
Oh, really clever. Yeah, I think that's a Halloween wall, the spooky wall.
Okay. Yeah, really cool touch.
But this interior is just amazing.
Yeah, it is for sure. Really, really just amazing. That's what I was gonna say. The level of detail in here is insane. Wow.
But he as he gave me the blueprint, I had to add these chairs, and hopefully I've done it justice. But
oh yeah, you definitely did. I mean, I would have thought that's something that he would have put in. But yeah, that is kind of crazy, or kind of interesting how when you create blueprints, you can't add benches, chairs, trash bins, stuff like that. Like, I guess maybe because they have to correspond with the path, but you can't do that.
Yeah, I suppose because guests have to use it. But I just thought they probably wouldn't use this much, so that's why I put the animatronics in to make it look like it was being used.
Yeah, I agree. I would hope that in Planet Coaster 2, which this kitchen is just awesome, it could take away that aspect and have you be able to place benches or chairs wherever you want. Because it is annoying when you are trying to hide where a path's not, but you can't place a bench there. But yeah, and you got the fridge.
Oh, that drinks machine. I stole that. That's such a good idea.
Yes, it is. We got a staff room back there, and I love having the staff rooms in the backstage because it looks really cool when you actually have the workers walking back there, especially when it's like part of a coaster. I just think that's really cool.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that kitchen is awesome. Like you said, that drink machine, and I started using those too, where you use the lights and turn them, I think it's all the way black, and it looks like they're little cups.
Oh yeah, the off the studio pack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're a really good item.
Yeah,
I use them all the time.
As I made a custom ice cream self-serve machine thing and used those, and it looks like something that you'd use that for. But once again, just the building here is just amazing, and this custom Pepsi kind of skin for this actual vending machine looks really good. So who made that?
I made that.
Oh, that's awesome.
There was I saw someone make them on the workshop, and not being horrible, their version kept glitching. So I just decided I always like to make my own stuff anyway. So I just made these myself.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like those are just a lot of rectangular pieces. What is that piece behind right there? Oh, it looks like signs.
Oh, yeah, just signs, and then there was a roller coaster support for the round bit.
Mm. Yeah, that looks amazing. I'm gonna have to do that at some point because that looks really, really good.
It was just such a clever idea that the guests are still going to use it as a vending machine. So I thought I'm definitely stealing that idea. Mm-hmm. I can't take credit for the whole thing.
Yeah, and so did Mad Catter also make this?
Yeah, this is all a part of the same building. I basically just done the bits on the outside, like the vending machines and the midway games and that. This is all Mad Catto.
Then we got another little backstage. I love how everything is thought out from that realistic aspect of how our employees going to get backstage, all that different stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely well thought of. I mean, to be honest, to give to Mad Catto, he was a bit wasted not building a roller coaster, basically. So when I said, "Can you build me a bar and restaurant?" he was like, "Can I not build a coaster?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And I said, "Just make it real." So he was like, "Right, you're having kitchens, you're having backstage, you're gonna have the lot." I was like, "Brilliant, can't wait."
Yeah, he did an amazing job. Yeah, and then the midway game with the minions is really awesome. And now it looks like we've got our first actual coaster that we're gonna ride.
We've got Planet Blip's little hopper ride that he made first.
Yeah, I remember he made this a while back, and that was really clever. Really clever ride for, obviously in the kids kind of area to get them involved. And you got the top spin over there, the popcorn machine. I just love how this park's laid out.
Yeah, it did come together really well. I'm happy with how it turned out. It definitely looks like one creator done it, even though everyone built the rides.
Yeah, I'm sure there were some moments of frustration.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Then we saw another Pepsi machine. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say there was a few times where people were taking their time, or they didn't want to do what I've asked them, and it was just ripping your hair out moments, but it all come together in the end.
And then another restroom, but you got a disabled area, and what I like about that is it's basic, not overdone. And this is the Forge, which is made by Mr. Zombie Blood, and he does a really good job too. I know he's been busy a lot recently with his job and stuff. It looks like he did a really good job with this.
Oh, he did. I'm sure he only done this in half a day. I've asked him to be a part of it, and he said, "Yeah, I'd love to." Said which ride, I gave him a choice. I'm sure he got back to me the next day or something. It didn't take him long to do this. But I don't think Matty actually goes into the compound, but he's actually got a realistic control room and loads of detail in there, which sort of got missed out. But make sure to see that if you do download this.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think some of it is we had to keep the video under an hour, and it's like 57 minutes, so it's as hard as
it's understandable that he's missed some.
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Sorry. I've just said it's understandable that he's missed some bits. So
yeah. And then this is Fragment, made by Birtie, and that dinosaur skeleton is just amazing.
No words.
And then the sign, it looks like those are maybe rock pieces or something. I don't know, but whatever it is, that looks insane.
I think they're the little wooden brackets he's used.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's just coloured them white, I think.
Okay. Yeah, and then that station looks awesome. Oh wow, you actually walk up underneath the skeleton. That is cool. And the launch is in there. Wow, this is amazing.
That's another level. Just unbelievable. When he started building this, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, this is amazing.
But you can see why I placed it this side of the park, because as soon as you walked up that path, you could see the dragon's face, and you wouldn't have been able to see that if it was on the other side of the park. So
yeah, makes sense. So since you had to place in the park, or did he actually place this down with the queue and everything? Because I know you said he and Matty were the two ones that actually worked on it in the actual park.
Yeah, so he basically he made the roller coaster in a plot size that I gave him, and a few scenery pieces, and then once I'd put it into place, I let him have the park to finish it because some of it goes underground.
Okay.
So I'll just let him do the path and that. So yeah, amazing job.
So it looks like the launch torque coaster, and we'll talk to you after the coaster. All right, so that was Fragment, I believe is what it's called, and that coaster was just absolutely amazing. It was really smooth. I mean, the layout was great. Looks like there's some custom supports in some parts, and I mean, I just love that coaster. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just speechless with this one. Just amazing. I keep saying amazing, but yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, when you get a park that is this amazing, I think it's hard not to keep saying the phrase amazing. And I mean, just like you said, it ducks down underground a little bit. There's so many different areas where a path's going over the coaster track, or the coaster track's going through the skeleton. I mean, there's so much interaction with it, and just amazing. It looks like we got a transfer track there with some backstage, with the road kind of leading to it. So that's just an amazing job. With also, I like the stairs on the side there. That's really cool.
Oh, just so realistic.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say other than just spectacular. And I like the transfer track there. And the station is just so detailed.
But Birtie's level of detail is just phenomenal. Like, me and him have done a collab park at the moment, which is nearly finished, and just the detail that he puts into things is just it's just another level.
Which, by the way, the creators on here that do have YouTube channels, I'll put their links in the description below. And Birtie's the one that makes the cinematic videos. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, he is.
Those are so well done. Some of the best cinematic videos I've seen. So y'all need to go check out his channel and check out some of those. Is does such a good job with that. And then I love those little gates there. Oh, here's your build.
Yeah, so I never planned to actually make a ride in this park. I just thought I'd do all the other bits. But when TJ phoned in sick, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make something. And as the park didn't have a water ride, I thought this was fitting. So
yeah, I seem to always forget about the water rides. I love this little part here where there's a little evacuation zone if needed. And I think you've merged the themes together well, where you've got kind of the all the different kind of building pieces that were used all seem to kind of fit within the same theme, right? Like this more piratey style can go with the castle and stuff like that. So I think it's really, really good, and this is amazing right here.
Yeah, it was. I just wanted some sort of thatch building for this one. I mean, as you can see, it's only the facade. It's all a warehouse in the background. But yeah, Iron Matty stole my building and put it on his ride as well. But I can't complain because it makes it all look like it's one part of it. So I really do like this plaza.
Yeah, this looks great. And then, I mean, this queue just looks so detailed, and I bet it took forever to kind of make the queue look complete and finished and realistic.
Yeah, definitely a lot of detail went into this. I had an idea of it just going up and down, and to basically to hide the warehouse. I didn't want really tall buildings so raising the cube just helped that hide the warehouse basically.
Yeah, well, it looks really good, and yeah, that's one thing that's really kind of, something you don't think about until we kind of start playing this game is when you go to Disney or any of these places, it's like really only the front half or front third, like a third of the building that's actually themed, and everything else is just a warehouse, which is like, why spend the money theming stuff if the guests aren't going to see it,
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I even go into Plipcam mode and look at the building, and if I can't see a part of it, then I don't bother theming it. It's just no point.
That's a good point, yeah. I've started to try to do that more, of always getting in Plipcam mode to try to see how it looks from the guest perspective, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, that's the point of it, right? You're building it to make it feel like a realistic theme park. All right, so we'll kind of talk over some of this, but what's the idea? Was there necessarily a story behind this or an idea for a theme? Which that line is really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I mean, the idea is a dragon's tale, and the dragon dreamt of going to the castle. He's entered the castle and gets up to a bit of mischief, a bit of fun, basically.
Yeah.
So there he is in the kitchen eating all the food.
Oh man, but lighting that you did with, I'm guessing those are the gosh, what are those pieces called? Are those the color or the lit panels that you used?
Yeah, so the background's the coloured panel lit up, and then I've got the animatronic in front of it, and then I've actually put a piece of glass that I think I changed the colour, and it just makes it look like a TV screen.
Yeah.
I was really happy with how some of them turned out, actually.
Like, I think that when you first enter the ride, that first room, that's probably my favorite so far, just seeing the kind of dragon's head and stuff, and even had the little space next to the log flume where there's a little bit of water that looked like that was moving. So really, really good job.
Oh, thank you. It is amazing what you can come up with when you start playing with things, because literally they are just silhouettes. I mean, the small trees are actually the flowers. As soon as you put that in front of the lit panels, they go pitch black, so it was ideal for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was I mean, that's one of the best log flumes I've seen. There's a guy on PlayStation 4 named Poops It Out who made an amazing one recently, and this one's right up there with it, in terms of the how realistic it looks and how you did with the theming, and really, really good job.
Well, thank you. I mean, I always add fire exits and stuff like that. I actually like seeing fire exits when you're on the ride, because you it's something that's going to sort of be hidden, but it's not hidden in case of an emergency. So.
Oh, there you go. So there's the dragon looking at the castle. And then another thing too that I noticed on a couple of spots is where you have those like light poles, not light pole, but the light, forget the actual name of the game, but it's like those beams that supports basically across the ceiling and stuff.
The studio pack item, yeah, they're really good for warehouses and stuff like.
Yeah, and then y'all just saw one of the fire exits that he had, and so that's a cool thing too, is you've thought about everything, which is one of the reasons why it's great looking at like Moomin's videos or Nerd Chachos and stuff. Is just like everything is so detailed, and it kind of really makes you realize and understand like how much goes into actually building a ride in real life.
Oh yeah, definitely,
and all the little things they have to think about.
But it's nice to feel to think like that and to do it in the build, because most people would miss what you've done, but I just feel like it has to be done, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
The view when you come out of here, I love this view.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, that's awesome. So we just got a few more to look at, and that kind of scared me for a second. I felt something weird touching my leg, and ended up that it was my cat, just his whiskers.
Definitely.
But yeah, then I like too how you added this little. I'm blanking on what that would technically be called now, but you're just adding that little bit of realism, another area for some water to go and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen these on water rides before where they suck in the water, but they have that sort of barrier to stop foliage going into it. So,
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, and so here's the exit. Yeah, and one thing too that's really just amazing about everything that I did. And so this is Iron Swings made by who's me? That'd be Iron Matty. And
it's just some random bloke called me.
Yeah, some wannabe YouTuber. So Matty does an amazing job. And I mean, of course, it's not, if Matty's gonna make something, he has to make a water feature with it. So that's a really
when I asked him to be a part of it, I said, can you do a water feature? And he was like, yeah, of course I can. So he actually, when he built this, I was like, I love it, Matty, but I can't have a water feature like without a pump house. So I actually added a pump house behind the waterfall.
Okay.
So no one saw it, but behind them rocks is an actual building that's for the pumps for the waterfalls. So I just had to do that.
See, what's amazing about that is, I mean, like you said, I don't think most people even know that's in the park. That just shows, honestly, how good of a job you did at hiding and making it realistic, right? Even.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah, even though like you want people to see it, it's kind of impressive that nobody even knows it's there, because that means you've just done such a good job. Then now,
I mean, a lot of people wouldn't add it just to save percentage. But it's something that I just need to do.
Yeah. Then here we've got what looks like a little bit more of a family coaster. So there's the staff building. We've got probably some kind of transfer track in there, or sometimes with these rides you don't really even see that much of a transfer track in real life because they can just keep the coaster train in the station. With the smaller coasters, a lot of times they just have one train. I mean, the foliage is so well done here too.
I think this was a bit of dead space that I and Matty added. Matty's corner.
Oh, yeah, Matty's corner.
Yeah, definitely looks like a smoking area to
me. Yeah. Well, hey, good for Matty. I think he's gone. I think it's almost a year now that he's quit smoking. So,
I'm glad he done it, because if it's a realistic part, you need a smoking area.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, I mean that's very true. You need because most parks now are non-smoking, but they do have designated areas. Like I know I was at Kings Island this past weekend and had like a designated area for that, but they were a no smoking park overall. So I think that's a cool little realistic touch they made.
Accidentally.
Accidentally, yep. And now this is by Fancy Coaster Cow, and it's called Rampage, I believe.
Yep.
And so when a creator made the ride, they kind of give you a blueprint of, hey, here's how the path should work, or did you end up just coming up with how you wanted the queue path and stuff to work?
So Fancy Coaster Cow actually uploaded this roller coaster in a park file, so he had the queue and the pond and all the terrain set up how he wanted it. So I basically copied it, but when I moved it from one side of the park to the other, I had to change the queue about slightly.
So that was Rampage, and that was definitely an Intamin coaster, as you've got the Invincible style coaster, and now it looks like, so like you said, there's a different lift. I'm trying to see if I can figure out what other kind of coaster track is overlaid on there, because I guess he probably wanted a different kind of catwalk and stuff. And so that's a pretty cool touch, kind of using a second coaster track to kind of get the visual or the look that you want. Trying to see if I can tell. I can't really tell right there. But that was a really, really good layout, really good coaster, and yeah, I just think it was. I mean, it's awesome. And look at that station. I mean, that's not even using walls and stuff. Like, that's using the doors or windows and different stuff like that. Just really cool touch. What are your thoughts on the coaster?
Oh, it's just phenomenal. It was, yeah, it's just so smooth.
Mm-hmm. I love that whack-a-mole, little midway games. And then we got another coaster here, and I like that little gulpy kind of little stall right there.
Yeah, it needed something over this part of the park, basically.
Mm-hmm. And who's this last coaster made by?
This is Angry Emerald.
Okay.
So the backstory is that it was originally called the Dragon.
Okay.
And this entrance here has been turned into a fire exit now. So
okay,
this was really clever.
Yeah, and I love that with backstories. Like, I think on my next park, I'm gonna try to have it kind of have a story to it, you know, other than just, hey, here's a park. Like, the whole kind of story, you know, just to try to do something different. But I love this. So,
I mean, the story worked out so well, like, especially the fragments there. It's like when they would have changed it from a dragon name to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's really cool. That's a lot of detail put in just for the catwalk area, which is really, really awesome to see. And then I love the little plaza here. That's one thing I'm always trying to think about, is how can you get a realistic looking plaza? Because that's so much of what makes a coaster is how does it visually look, right? So this is called Knight's Quest. Like, just going to Kings Island recently, I mean, the view, you get a banshee and the entrance sign and the station and everything just from the front is, I mean, one of the most picturesque coasters you can see.
yeah, it's all about how it interacts with the guest. It just makes it so much better.
And I love how he's even got the sign that says "Queue hopping will not be tolerated." That's awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen that done before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed all weekend is they had those in every single line. Queue hopping will not be tolerated. So that's realistic, and I like too how we didn't really get to see it there, but it looked like there was like an extended queue area that was blocked off that had a lot of shrubs and stuff growing on it, kind of showing that they haven't had to use that in a long time. That was a cool touch. So that was the coaster, and you know, each coaster in the park does something different, makes it unique to where it's hard to pick out one that necessarily stands out the most. But what I love about this one is, you know, he used the family coaster model, and it's still I still would consider this kind of like a family coaster, but it's more on the intermediate level. So it does have some thrill moments to it and stuff like that, and just the level of detail is just amazing, and the transfer track there, and you've got 2 different areas for the track, so really, really cool touch. Yeah, this is, oh, and I love the air ducts on the top and stuff. That looks really, really cool. So Emerald Rides. Plug in his name right
so
there.
Much detail.
Yeah. So who made the carousel right there and the skin for the carousel?
I did, but it was sort of a placeholder to start with, because I didn't think I was going to do a main ride. I ended up just leaving it there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we just have a few minutes left as we kind of check out some. Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's a planet Plipcam creation. That scooter.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome! Like, I would have thought that, like, that looked real. That was such a good job. And then you got some lockers here. I mean, I just love how you created the pathing system for it, and just all the little detail looks amazing.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Yeah. So what was maybe the most tedious part of this collab on your end?
Probably just time, really. Just waiting on people. I think that was the biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite a fast builder myself. I probably could have done this in 2 weeks, but I was waiting on everyone else.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way, where if you're, oh, it looks great at night as well. It's like you want to just keep building, so when you're waiting on stuff, yeah. So, I mean, was it tough to integrate everything in the park? I feel like that would probably be one of the toughest parts.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took some time to move things about and make it fit, but the other 8 creators just built stuff that was that good that it didn't matter how I put the part together. It just come together. So
yeah,
I can't take all credit.
So let's do a quick refresher on who all was involved in this. Obviously, you were the one that placed most of the stuff in the park and stuff like that. And then we had Gray Mauser did the windmill. Planet Plipcam did this jousting steeplechase ride. Mag Catter did the that kind of food restaurant area. And then you had Birtie did the fragment coaster. And there's Mr. Zombie Blood's flat ride. Then you did the log flume, and Iron Matty did the, gosh, I forget, Charo Swing, the most picturesque ride in the game.
Iron Swingers.
Iron Swingers. Oh, what a good name. Then you had Angry Emerald with the more family style coaster, and then Fancy Coaster Cow with the Intamin would be Mega Light. I forget the technical name for that. I think I've got everybody. Did I forget anybody?
No, that's everyone, apart from the blueprints that I've used. But
yeah, I just kind of wanted to run through it and make sure we give everybody credit again, because everybody did such an amazing job on this.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
All right, so we just got about 1 minute left. So, any final thoughts or anything else that you want to tell the viewers?
Just thank you for watching. Thank you for having me, Michael, and I appreciate everyone downloading this and giving it a thumbs up. So, thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, thank you to everybody who worked on this. As I said, I think this is one of the best, if not the best, park on console. Just so realistic. Everything's integrated so well. The lighting is done perfectly. Looks absolutely amazing. Looks like it's something that we'd really find in real life, which is, to me, shows that it's been done really well. And so make sure to go check out the links below. And thank you once again for joining me, Flooded Tombs.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everybody, make sure to check out the links below, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to y'all later.